Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome back to MCubed. Again, we are going to talk about Gen V, The Boys spinoff, episodes 1, 2, and 3, because we got a triple drop to start out the series, which was actually pretty cool. I was kind of hesitant at first. I thought, well, maybe they're not confident in what they're going to put out. That's not the case. That's not the case at all. I absolutely adored all three of these episodes. I think it's kind of the perfect spinoff from The Boys as of now. Hey, Shelly, howdy, how you doing? Have you seen The Boys yet? It is a little crazy, but it is fun. Howdy, Quest, how you doing, my friend? Yeah, so where I was hesitant with The Boys spinoff, Gen V, I kind of expected it to kind of be maybe a spinoff for spinoff's sake and not necessarily tie into this world, not necessarily make sense, and not be as well produced and thought out necessarily as The Boys itself is. No. They planned this thing out. And, apparently we got Marie Moreau, the main character from this, in a little excerpt from season 3 of The Boys, which is kind of freaking cool, if you ask me. Howdy, David. Welcome back. Yeah, we got a really solid 3-episode beginning. I like how it opens with bombast, I guess, as all things The Boys and Gen V should. The Marie Moreau starting it was, nope, but you can't be surprised. Well, it's one to check out because it is crazy. If you want your mind blown and a lot of intrigue consistently, yeah, it's there for you. Because the way we entered into this series is with a girl getting her powers for the first time. And it is a very interesting way that she gets these powers. Let's just say she has her first cycle and bleeds for the first time as she hits puberty. And I'm trying to dice around these things just in case YouTube monetization and all, not monetization, but copyright, whatever, just to make sure we're all good for YouTube rules. Yeah, so she bleeds for the first time in her cycles and kills her parents on accident. It is a harrowing few moments for this character, and her psyche is built upon this literal moment, really. Everything in that moment forward changed in her life, and we kind of are seeing her pick back up as her life has the ability to change again from just being an orphan. I guess a super orphan. I don't know exactly how that works, but that's interesting itself. They have an orphanage for soups. Kind of wild. Interesting, though. Definitely interesting. How has The Boys even been out long enough to have a spinoff? I mean, I've heard good things, but never checked it out. I don't think you can get a copyright strike for just... That's true. There is bulimia or eating disorders are like an aspect of this show, and that you get... it's not copyright struck, but you get... monetization isn't very friendly about that kind of stuff. So we'll kind of beat around the bush when it comes to some heavy topics, I guess, is the easiest way to say it. We'll still talk about them, but we'll beat around the bush for YouTube's sake, I guess. So I've only seen season 1 of The Boys and 3 or 4 episodes of season 2. Wow. Did you watch Gen V episode 1, 2, 3? Because technically a lot of this is happening right before season 2 happens, I guess, timeline wise. Yeah. So it opens up this character, Marie Moreau, which I love the name Marie Moreau. Of course, I say that I grew up 20 minutes from Louisiana. We got a lot of voodoo kind of stuff going on. And Marie, there's a lot of Marie Laveau's and things like that. So it's just a cool sounding name. I really like the alliteration to it. Everyone in the show does seem to have high cholesterol. You watched all 3? Nice. Good. Yeah, so it starts off with that, and then it's almost juxtaposed with Golden Boy, his predecessor, a.k.a. A-Train, the guy that we see in the 7. It's nice. Just say period. That's not offensive. Okay, yeah, I guess that's fine. It is just a classification. But yeah. So, to juxtapose all that, A-Train is being indicted into the 7. No, definitely not my thing. Real quick, Ahsoka finale tonight, Quantum Leap season 2 tomorrow, Loki season 2 the day after, Doctor Who next month. Late night shows are back. Great. They really are, though. I really like that. A lot of what you just said is Disney, and Disney is now treating things like we're tossing this on in the evening, and we're gonna let people view it as succinctly together as possible, which is nice. Instead of waiting, okay, well, half our friends watched this at work the next day, and half our friends didn't, and now we have to be careful about who we talk about what with, what to who, et cetera, et cetera. And now it's kind of like, okay, well, if everybody's watching Ahsoka at 6 or 8 or 9 p.m. whenever it airs where you are, everyone's watching it. That's what we're talking about tomorrow, Same thing with like House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones. It's always been 6 p.m. or 8 p.m., 9 p.m. on your Sundays, and the next day, there you go. Sundays at 8 p.m., 9 p.m. always for The Walking Dead was my favorite way to end a week until Game of Thrones came along, until House of the Dragon came along. Still kicking on coconut water, of course. I know I like my coconut water. But yeah, back to the boys, or Gen V, we might say. I like the way it opens. It opens pretty intensely. A-Train and Brink are a good juxtaposition against that intensity. They show that Vought very much has their hands. We know Vought has their hands tied into literally everything in this world, but it shows that they're literally picking from this university essentially as a draft into the 7. And it's interesting that they treat it that way. Obviously, it makes sense in like the corporate kind of way that they treat the world of Vought and the way the Vought industry, I guess, treats the world. I really like that aspect of this universe, that there's so much world building done just through this one company that it's insane. Obviously, there are other big companies that are like happening in universe, and real world companies that are in universe as well, and these things are going on. But Vought itself is very much intrinsically like linked to the world, and we live almost vicariously through what Vought tends to show us. And I like that the boys gets to advertise, and Gen V gets to advertise using Vought media and stuff like that. It just really it entices you to be entrenched into this world, and they do a very good job of that. And I think A-Train being being inducted into the 7 is a really good, interesting way to start that show and say, okay, well, this is what Patrick Schwarzenegger, who plays Golden Boy, who plays Luke right there, he's being inducted into it next. And we kind of get to see where his psyche is at that time. And it's not in a very good place, especially because his brother, Sam, is Golden Boy Arnold Schwarzenegger's son. It is old Patty Stew, not Patty Stew. Patrick Stewart is Patty Stew. Patty Schwartz. Can we say that? Patty Schwartz? Patty Schwarzenegger. Yeah, Patrick Schwarzenegger. I actually was on set with him one day in The Terminal List whenever I was an extra in that show. Yeah, The Terminal List. He was there. Chris Pratt was there. A couple other people were there. It was a cool day. It was a really cool day. Anyway, I liked. I kind of lost my track there, but I do like how that was being portrayed against the super character. I mean, that was more world building, where Marie Moreau was. I want to say Laveau so bad. Marie Moreau her opening is very much like character based and character development based. The Schwarzenegger name is back. That, and talking about Chris Pratt, who just married other Schwarzenegger. There's a lot of Schwarzeneggers coming up. There's going to be plenty of them. Yeah, I like that we went super character development heavy and then very much world building heavy all at the same time and within like the first 10, 12 minutes. And it's really easily done, well done in a very fluid way. No pun intended for the blood aspect of things. Little Cricket is a great roommate. First of all, she's kind of that roommate anybody would kind of want, obviously, but maybe a little too overbearing, but that's okay at the same time, because you kind of want that in college. You want someone that like that close to you, that you can be that good of friends with, have that person, that confidant to go back to and to confide in. Damn, that is deep and dark with the whole bulimia, the eating disorders and stuff. And they don't shy away from any of it. They definitely show it. It's something that growing up in middle school, we had 4 or 5 girls that left school for a while, and I went to a little private school before I went to public school in high school, and we didn't have a huge class, so 4 or 5 girls leaving for eating disorders was like a big thing. And yeah, I just did a video on the Tomorrow Wars. You mentioned Chris Pratt. Hey, oh, I did see that. I need to watch it because we talked about Tomorrow War literally Sunday. Yeah, that was fun. Anyway, the little cricket stuff, it goes very deep, and I like it. I mean, I do. It's hard to watch at times, but I like it. I think it is very well done. It's poignant in the way they do it. It very much is like farcical and comedic in the way they present it at times. And then they just leave you in a moment of heaviness too. And I think the boys and Gen V both do that spectacularly. We really get we get moments of like episode 3 where the deep sitting and or not the deep, he's not sitting there, but he's on that TV screen giving a little speech, and it's silly as hell. And you juxtapose that with Marie Moreau and Kate and Jordan as a girl at the moment talking about their little lives. Marie having to open up about what she's done. Jordan freaking out about everything. Kate freaking out about everything. All of them freaking out about different things that very much pertain to their individual selves and what's going on as a whole. It's very well done. And then you go right back to the deep talking on the screen and you start chuckling immediately. It's the balance they hold is beautiful. I really do like what they're able to bring to us, you know, in that sense. I like it. It's very different than other superhero projects going on right now, and I think Gen V fits very well into the way the boys' world is, and so far, better for it. What say y'all? Because after 3 episodes, I think it is squarely in watchability territory for me. Damn, Chilling just posted the Loki season 2 reviews are out short. Oh yeah, they are out. They are. Some not very good ones, some decent ones, but some not very good ones. Yeah, so let's just dive into some of the episode stuff. While we're at it, let me go ahead and get my spiel out the way. Like, comment, subscribe, share it to all your people, do all that good stuff. I always really appreciate it. And if you'd like, you can follow on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all the same. Right there at Harris McGrade. Yada, yada, yada. Got my spiel out the way. See, I got to do it every now and then. But anyway, episode 1 quite literally ends with a bang. Should we start there, I guess? We've kind of covered a little bit of the things that happened, that the setup. We've talked about the character setup in episode 1. But episode 1 ends with the golden boy, old Patty Schwarzenegger himself, kind of going up in flames, more so than his usual flame self does. And YouTube needs a double thumbs up button. That'd be cool. Kind of like, is it Hulu, or no, it's not Hulu. Is it Netflix that says like this or really like this? That'd be kind of interesting, actually. We also should have the dislike button like actively seen again, but all the above. Anyway, Luke's character, or Patrick Stewart's character, God, I'm going to keep saying that. Patrick Schwarzenegger's character of Luke, I think, is going to pertain much more to this series than you would think he would after ending episode 1 like that. Obviously, we get some good flashbacks in episode 2 and 3. I think we will continue to get those. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if his brother Sam, once they do escape everything and all that said and done, if he continues to see Patrick Schwarzenegger and we continue to see the brother Luke in kind of a manifestation of the brain kind of way, that'd be cool. Fire splat, which killed Golden Boy first. Real quick, do you think that Golden Boy was more so Human Torch or more so like Sentry? Which one? Because his costume that he was going to get very much looked like Sentry, but his powers are much more so Human Torch-like and based, if that makes sense. Well, what are y'all thinking? Because I think it's kind of an amalgamation of both, but I think he was much more Human Torch-like, if that makes sense. Sam's gonna go crazy, well, crazier when he finds out about his brother. That's for sure. Um, I don't know if it was. I think it was a good call on Little Cricket in that moment to not say, "Hey, your brother's dead, and we're here because of that. We're like looking for you and trying to help you and save you because of this." I think it helps. Um, that she was like hesitant there, but I don't think it's going to help in the long run that Sam is a little bit. I mean, he's probably got schizophrenia or something like that, and that's a whole nother thing to talk about. Like they're really hitting heavy with the topics. The kind of like, I guess they are major topics of the show. They're not secondary or ancillary topics. They are major topics of the show, which is interesting. They're really hitting the nail on the head with a lot of heavy things, and it's pretty good stuff so far. Anyway, Indira is beautiful. Indira Shetty is beautiful. I remember her from Terra Nova. Yeah, I haven't seen Terra Nova, but the actress is wonderful. Love Terra Nova. It was an awesome show. Yeah. So I think Sam will be pissed off in the future, and obviously it'll be kind of him trying to hold that anger back and keep that within him and maybe keep a level head, and that's going to be the hardest part for him. Maybe we'll see some stuff because Sam's really bringing me a lot of Legion vibes. I don't know if y'all watch Legion or not. Fantastic show. Noah Hawley made the show. Wonderful freaking show. Maybe the best comic book show ever made. I would like, yes, in my opinion, I think so. Gen V dope. Yes, sir, Aaron. Howdy, chillin'. Howdy, my friend. Yeah. Real quick, what is y'all's favorite comic book TV show ever made at the moment? I think Legion would be mine. I think Legion overall is mine. It's a little more highbrow comic, but it's so well done. So well done. Anyway, I get Legion vibes from Sam, and I think he might end up doing a little bit of the crazy schizophrenia stuff that happens from Legion, I guess, but a little less highbrow, a little more fun. Well done, very well produced, not highbrow per se, but I think it'll be very well done. I just am intrigued about what will happen and who's going to die when that happens, because there's no way one of our main people don't like accidentally get taken out, or Sam freaks out and accidentally hurts one of the villains, whoever the villains are going to end up being, really, because we don't necessarily know the villains besides the Woods. Who are the villains? Obviously Vought and the Woods, but how much do those correlate together? Is the Woods strictly a Vought thing? I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. Yeah, I don't know exactly where to think about that. You know, where where we end up after this is going to be interesting. I'm really excited for episode 4. I don't know if y'all saw the trailer for it, but it's going to have all the puppet stuff. And I like that somebody's able to turn into a puppet and turn others into puppets. It's really interesting. Couldn't Kate just touch Sam and tell him to be calm? Oh, that is an excellent point. She's done it before. She totally could. Got to cook. I'll try to catch you next time. Yes, we'll be hanging out later if you want to come by later. But I know you and Sandy are cooking up something good. Good. Well, I mean, I'm thinking about all the crab y'all are always posting. I haven't had good crab in a long time. Anyway, I'm getting hungry. I haven't eaten much today. I don't know any of the cast names, but there are 0 unattractive ladies. Tis the truth. Tis the truth. It very much helps that they're all fun college age ladies hanging out, you know? But some of them are also cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and some of them are like very much entrenched in the superhero world where it's not a pretty world. They literally have to sell themselves to survive as superheroes, much less we're like Marie Moreau literally actually saved somebody at the end of episode 1. And I think that's the first time in the Boys and Gen V world and universe that we've seen an actual superhero save somebody, like save a civilian. And of course, she had to save them from one of her friends that did something on accident. But yeah, the terms, yes. Is that weird that it's taken 3 seasons of The Boys and 1 season of this to actually have someone save somebody, like an actual superhuman save a human? Because, usually it's Mother's Milk going around saving people while Butcher's actually doing some bad things. Huey and Mother's Milk saving people in The Boys. I don't know if we've actually had a soup save somebody. So yeah, this very well may be the very first one, and I don't know if 4 seasons and it still making as much sense as it does is a very good light shown on us. Not with this setting. Yeah, I don't think so. Because it feels very much like this could be entrenched within the real world and in a lot of ways. Like we just obviously the superhero antics are one thing, but the way they present it to the world, the way Vought presents everything to the world, we're very familiar with all of that. It kind of shines a weird light on us that it even took this long for one person to be saved, but it also makes sense. Superheroes saving people, what's that? Especially in this world. What the hell's that? Yeah, it's kind of weird. It took 3 seasons and 3 episodes. I like it though. I like that it took that long because it kind of shows how screwed up we are. And talking about being screwed up, just thinking about the little funny scene with um it's Eric Kripke is the showrunner, but it's not the showrunner for this. The showrunner, I think, for The Boys. I don't know if he showruns for Gen V, but it's the guy that does that who directed the Dawn of the Seven and stuff. Being the guy that's all right. He showed his dick to whoever the hell, and now he's shoved into the college professor role, which was great. That was a little messed up depravity, just kind of tossed in there, which was hilarious. And still like poignant, but dumb fun at the same time. Makes you chuckle, but like still makes sense, and it is poignant. I liked it. I really am just having a good time with this. Another one of those Vought things that I really liked that they had a Vought a burger. I think it was in episode 2 or 3, which is obviously a takeoff of the best burger fast food franchise there is. What a burger! There was Vought a burger, which was awesome. I love everything Carl Urban does, but I thought he was doing an Australian accent in The Boys. Yeah, it's a little over the place. Can you imagine what Kripke would have been in Supernatural if he was allowed? Oh, I didn't watch Supernatural, but I can just guess, Little Cricket, a guy's ear, really? That was great. That was great. Episode 1 with her on Liam, I believe, was little Shrimpy, as we'll call him. A little cricket beat little Shrimpy. The ear thing was so much cooler and so much funnier and so much more messed up, but also like a really good character, like poignant, but silly, dumb fun, but poignant. Like that she was kind of baptized in blood in a similar way, not necessarily the same way, of course, that Marie was, but this was kind of her character moment where it's like, oh, maybe I'm not just a silly little girl that throws up and turns little. Like I can actually use these powers for bad or good. And that was kind of that moment where like what is bad and what is good for her, and she can kind of has to figure that stuff out. I like it. It's simple but poignant nonetheless. The brain tunnel was awesome. Um I'm throwing my phone over here. I'm getting too many texts. I'm getting too many phone calls. Can't look at it. Anyway, Little Cricket blows off steam by beating up ants. That was hilarious. That made me think of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids immediately when she was just like, I've been fighting off ants for hours. it was I don't know why. It made me think of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and then I played a little bit of it and I never really like continued, but I did like the concept of it. The video game Grounded, which essentially is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids put into a video game, and you just get to explore like the little world of the yard. It was great. Her puking can now have glorious purpose. Yeah. God. Oh God. I mean, as funny as it is a perfect character moment to push her as a person forward as a superhero or someone trying to be a superhero. That moment, though, Marie opens up with her baptism. That second one, the second baptism of blood, kind of almost feels like she's not gonna make it. Big Rob, howdy, my friend. I have not watched Biodome yet. Did I wrote it down, didn't I? I wrote it down. Did I not write it down? I was positive I wrote that thing down. Hold up. Writing it down right now. Biodome, and then someone told me I needed to watch the Pirate Jack or the Pirate Track or something like that. I don't remember. How many bad parents do you have in America? I would never inject my child with that drug. Well, yeah, we would have a lot of parents do it. We would have a lot of parents do it now. And in the past generations too, because I guess the boys even talks about that being the past generations, which that brings up, an excellent question. Is Polarity, Andre, obviously, the young Polarity, not the old Polarity, the dad, is he actually the first soup that's born? Because technically he's older than Ryan, and his dad does have superpowers. So is he the first superhero that was born in this universe? Obviously, what we're led to believe is that he's given why am I blanking? Given V. Yeah, given V. I think it's just called V, right? But maybe his dad hid that from Homelander. Was no. Homelander was given. No, because they still created Homelander. Yeah. They still created Homelander. Ryan is very much like the first natural born superhero. Maybe besides Andre. Because Homelander was like the successor to Soldier Boy. He wasn't his direct son. He was just like the successor to, because he doesn't have a mom or a dad. Where Andre does, Ryan does, and I think would one of the things that makes sense, they grew him and Urban's wife. Yes. There must have been some created before Homelander testing the drug. Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe Polarity was one of those tests. And with Soldier Boy's DNA. Yes. So he is like, yeah. Well, he is. Yeah, I guess he is dad by that degree. So interesting. I'm so intrigued what they're gonna do, because now you can't do the boys without some of these characters, at least in the future. We obviously already got Marie Moreau in one of those little computer files in season 3 on a computer screen somewhere. But if Andre lives and survives through this, he would be someone very pertinent to be seeing in the boys. Because, I mean, why wouldn't they want their Magneto to be on the boys? That'd be badass. But also, he's one of the only people that seems to actually care about doing good versus doing things that seem good. I'm intrigued. I don't know where they're going with that little bit, but that's gonna be part of the fun. Internet says Ryan's the first one naturally born. Yeah, that's definitely what we have been shown so far. But with Andre, do you think it's possible that Polarity had Andre and then enhanced him with more V? I'm not sure. Do you think there are some of the first supers born without taking V to turn? Well, no, because that would be like just now, kind of, right? Because I guess the oldest natural born would technically be Ryan, but if Andre is one of the first ones that was hidden, maybe there are more. Yeah, I'm very interested in what's coming for Sheezy. Yeah, the theories that are already there. Did Homelander's son have power? Yeah. Lots of powers, big powers. He's. Do you remember Brightburn, where it's like the little kid Superman that's kind of evil, the one that James Gunn produced? That's Ryan. whenever he's in a bad mood. Yes, very much so. Very much. If you I went caveman for a little bit, but I think I got the point across. Um, yeah, no, he had powers and they were very powerful, which makes me think if Andre is a natural born superhero, I kind of want to say mutant, but superhero that's also given V, does he run the risk? If that were the case, could they technically? I still need to watch Brightburn. I never saw it either, but they're making a Brightburn too. I saw that. That's insane. Not really. It's insane, but it's like a cool insane. My thought process, could Andre, his blood, be the thing that A Train needs to survive? Like, because obviously A Train's not necessarily losing his powers, but when he uses them, it hurts him because he was addicted to V. Since if Andre, young Polarity, is a natural born and given Gen V as a kid, given V as a kid, I'm going to say that 1,000 times over. Is it possible that he could have his blood turn into a serum that helps treat addiction to V? If that makes sense? Maybe. I like that idea, and it's the only thing in universe that would make sense to be a cure for what A Train needs to have a cure so far. I haven't read the comics, so I have no idea if that's in there or not. But if it is, that'd be really cool. If it's not, hey, the TV show's not like the perfect adaptation. Come on, add something cool. Add something cool. Is the boys Gen V similar to the Umbrella Academy? That's the vibe I get. Yes and no. Mostly no, but a lot of yes. It's yes with tonality. For the most part, Butch has a cure for for is that part is that part of? Am I blanking on the end of season 3? Because if that's not a cure, then the Andre stuff, explosives. Well, okay, true. Okay. Deleted the wrong word. Brightburn and Superman was raised by anyone other than the Kents. Yes. But in this question, tonality wise, to a degree, very much so. Everything else, no. The Boys and Gen V is very much a rated R type of thing. It's very much more satirical and like a social take on things, but it's so much fun at the same time. V is a slang term for vampire blood and true blood. Them using it as a drug, and that shows what I keep thinking of while you're talking about it. I've always wanted to watch True Blood. I've already mentioned it. I was raised 20 minutes from Louisiana. I love me some good Louisiana stuff, and I need to watch True Blood because I love vampire stuff too. I really do. If a vampire were to come back here and be like, "Hey, you wanna bite in the neck?" I'd just say, "Hey, dude, come on, I'm ready. Let me live." A bloody version of Sky High. That's essentially what Gen V is so far, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. I cannot wait for Thursday. I cannot wait for Thursday. I know I need to watch True Blood. I know, I know. And is it Rachel Arquette? Which Arquette's in there? And Alexander Skarsgård. That's Alexander Skarsgård's like big up and coming show that was like got him as a household name or a near household name, right? Right? I'm pretty sure. It's one that I've always wanted to watch. I need to go back and watch. It's a Showtime, right? I'm pretty sure it's a Showtime, like Dexter, huh? Anyway, I got caught up on what we do in the shadows last week. So good. The local news episodes were the best. That episode was hilarious, absolutely hilarious, and it was. I like the way it ended. It kind of leaned back into like its horror elements, and I like that it did that. I really did. That it did. HBO, booyah, booyah, booyah. Okay, Alexander Skarsgård. I think it was Rachel or Patricia Arquette, one of the Arquettes. Anyway, Let me look at my notes over here. Sam injected in the back with what? What was Sam injected in the back with? Is he being dosed up with V a in a way that A Train was, but by doctors? Are they trying to forcibly kind of take his powers down a level, or are they maybe enhancing them and using him for something? Because he's obviously smarter than they like to treat him. He knows all the codes and everything, which should hopefully make episode 4 a really fun escape with Little Cricket and him. I think the two of them being able to escape would be really cool and not have to rely on somebody else and them maybe trying to go save them later and getting caught up in the woods more than they want to be. It'd be interesting. If Marie used her blood to kill Anna Paquin, that's the one. All right. If Marie used her blood to kill or save a soup, will her blood get contaminated and affect her when it touches the soup's blood? Oh. Was it not a sedative to keep him docile? I mean, it very well may have been. That just seems like a cop out. Everything they inject into people matters in this show, and I feel like that's going to be something highly specific. Hold up, let me read this one more time. If Marie used her blood to kill or save a soup, will her blood get contaminated and affect her when it touches the soup's blood? I don't know. That is a really cool thought, though. Because she draws blood back into herself after she shoots it out and stuff. But no, she doesn't necessarily. We haven't seen her draw blood back into herself. So technically, it wouldn't contaminate her, but would she contaminate other soups? Like, I mean, let's just say she gets an STD. I'm just saying. If she cuts people with her blood, does that immediately like give them that or any other kind of thing? Like, if she were to have chicken pox, would she be giving that people through her blood splats? Like, it's interesting. Power absorption through blood would be interesting as well. That could ooh. It'd be hard to cut soups open enough to get the blood first, but if she's able to do that part, which obviously she should be able to with her power, it's plausible. It's definitely plausible. Everything they inject into I thought about that as I said it. I was like, oh god. Everything they inject into everything they inject into people in this show matters. That's what okay. Real quick, Mark said, I saw The Flash the other night. Better than the reviews. I was entertained. I had fun for sure. Yeah, no, it's definitely good to a degree, but bad to a degree as well. And it's interesting finding the differentiation points in that film. Anyway, blood-based powers are such a villain power, but this is the boys verse. Yeah, I like that they're switching that trope where it's like, okay, well, first thing that you think of, obviously, myself would be Katara and bloodbenders in Avatar: The Last Airbender. But she's not like bending blood. She could totally bend blood, though. She could totally bend blood. And there is totally a way that she ends up being a villain later on. I'm not entirely sure. What about Octopi that Deep's injecting himself into them? Oh god. It's not a great film, but it's a good entertainment comic book movie. I agree. But yeah, no, I like that her powers are villain-esque and they're treating her very not villain-esque. I like that trope turn there. It's not. Oh, sorry, I was reading the same comment again. This is what happens when I just read them and don't put them up on the screen. My brain thinks in two different places. But I looked at my little notes over here again. I don't think Sam being injected in the back was just something random, like that funny quote. But everything people get injected with in this show matters. So I really do think it's going to be something weird in particular, and maybe it's to do with because so much of the show is mental illness and navigating that and navigating what mental illness looks like in society and these different little things. So maybe it has something to do with his schizophrenia. I don't know. I'm kind of reaching there, but Maybe. The 2002 CGI took me right out of it for the Flash. Yeah. That was one of the bad parts for sure. Wouldn't blood be manipulatable by a waterbender as blood is mostly water? Precisely. And particularly under the moon, which is when bloodbenders in Avatar: The Last Airbender are at their most powerful. Some are able to do it without the moon, but most have to have the moon to actually be able to bloodbend. Even seeing something like that involving the moon would be kind of cool if her powers are stronger under the moon. But that's more water-based, not blood-based. But technically, she should be able to bloodbend whenever she feels like. And she could quite legitimately be one of the strongest superheroes because of bloodbending ability. That would easily get her into the 7 as the first black woman, or I was about to say the first woman, but now there are a couple, but as the first black lady, as the first bloodbending lady, as the first person with super villain powers in there, because everybody else has superhero powers. They just tend to use them in a super villain kind of way. I think that would be a really good way to take the character, and I don't know if it's a good way to take the show of Gen V to kind of give that character up to the boys down the line, but it would be nice to see at the same time. Maybe she could have 2 shows going on at the same time, simultaneously. I don't know. But I'm not opposed to it, honestly. I like the actress a lot. Aging her up or aging her down would be funny. If you're having see, okay. Ooh. She did blow her mom's head up when she screamed and lost control. Marie Moreau did? She didn't blow her head up, did she? It was like a slice. Did she blow her head up after that? It's if you're having your way with female Jordan and she turns back male, what happens to? This is a great question. You remember season 3, episode 1, where the termite crawls and sneezes and expands? I think that would happen in a much more smaller scale. But would it be stuck in? Ooh, that I don't know if I want to think about that one. I don't know if it would be stuck inside the other person or what. That's how her cranium all up in his face. Cranium all up in his face. Was that it? Yeah. So slit, freak out when dad walks in, blown up, and then yeah. Oh, okay. I'm with you. That's exactly what happened. Okay. I don't what else was I thinking about? I don't know, but no. That's exactly how that happened. Thank you. Yeah. Wild stuff. But no, okay. So one of the best things I think to happen in episode 3 was Jordan going back and forth, and obviously they're talking a lot about like trans things and like dealing with that with parents, dealing that with society, etc., and they're able to do that in a little bit more of a nuanced way to in a degree, with having the power to Jordan's power to switch between being a boy and a girl, also having superhuman strength, superhuman not agility or anything, but dexterity and all that kind of stuff, makes them a very powerful superhero. But it makes it very hard to live, especially within a familial household that is the way they are in this series. It was it was a very funny moment. I'll get back to that in a second, Quest. The Jordan stuff in this episode was well done, well handled. I thought it was all touchy subjects, but touched upon very well. I thought. I don't know if I have much more to say about all that necessarily, just because it's so succinct in the way they handle it in the show that it's nice. It's comforting that okay, they've got friends, she's got friends, he's got friends, both sides, like they can go do whatever they feel like in this show. The parents aren't going to be around much, but they will have a looming effect on how Jordan reacts with their world, and we get to see the ramifications of that and the way that Jordan is going to maneuver, which is going to be cool. Anyway, Andre's dad already knows about the woods. That's another thing. Ooh, which I'll get back to because Quest had a little good thing real quick. Would it be interesting if Marie was manipulating the iron rather than the blood itself? She didn't realize it. Yes, but no. But yes, it would be really cool. My only thought process there is if she is an iron bender, is she only an iron bender? Can she bend steel as well? Exactly. That would be Andre. That would be Andre because Andre bends metals. So, but they kind of seem like I feel like Andre and Marie are going to get together at the end of the day, even over Andre and Kate. And Kate's going to have like a villainous turn. That's just my like ideas, theories at the moment, I guess. Or maybe Andre will have a villainous turn, but I think it's going to be Kate. I think Kate's going to be evil. Magneto controlled people's minds that way. Yeah. Is there a TV franchise that doesn't have Clancy Brown in it? Hell no. And there better not ever be because I love Clancy Brown so much. I mean, what is he not in? Literally, any big franchise, he's somewhere in, and he's also Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob. That man has raised generations with his voice, with that soothing, sultry, booming voice. Like it's so good. He's literally everywhere. Long live the Kurgan. The man, he's phenomenal. And I wish he was a household name. Everybody knows his voice. Good chunk of people know his name, but not nearly enough. I hope that does change for him one day because he deserves so much more accolade than he receives at the moment. But like Chillin said, he's everywhere. He's literally everywhere, and I love it. Back to the Marie Moreau blood thing though. I could see them doing cool things with that. I just don't know if it's metal manipulation. I'm sure him and Keith David have every TV show covered, every TV show and video game, because Clancy Brown's in a lot of video games. So Keith David, if I hear Keith David's voice in a video game, I'm immediately excited. Like it's I immediately know this is going to be a damn good game because Keith David signed up for it. Like, I want Keith David to play like is it Colonel Anderson, Major Anderson from Mass Effect? I just want him to be able to voice him in live action just once, just de-age him and just the once, please. I did see Keith David. I think the last 2 years I've been to LA Comic-Con. He's always at LA Comic-Con doing something. He was on a big stage a couple years ago, I think, and then was on like a minor stage talking about video games and stuff like that, and how actors do voice acting and or motion capture control. And that was fun. I just like hearing the guy talk. I literally sat there for half an hour. Are either in Starfield, Harris? That's a great question. Let me pull up my IMDb Pro real quick. Talk amongst yourselves in the comments. Actually, you know what? We'll look that up later. We can look it up later. We won't derail ourselves real quick. As OCD as I'm going to be about that, I'm going to do that immediately after stream, or completely forget about it. One of the two. It'll either be the very first thing, or I'll completely forget. I think he's not in Doctor Who, but I haven't heard all the 900 plus audio episodes, and he does a lot of voice acting, so I wouldn't be surprised. His best role, though, Brother Justin in Carnival. Yeah. I mean, he's pretty damn good in everything. My favorite thing is Star Wars Rebels, of course, him being Ryder Azadi. I wish we got a little more Ryder Azadi in Ahsoka, and then more so than just like the couple scenes that we got, because, I mean, Ryder's huge in Rebels. The last couple seasons, of course. But he fights right up next side. Everybody is very important, very pertinent. You know, I just like to see that. Anyway, back to old Generation V. What are y'all's overall thoughts? Are we at the same quality level as we are with the boys? Are we better? Are we worse? Is this the type of boys spinoff that you would like to see? Versus like the Boys Diabolical, their animated show, which I have not seen. I've heard decent and I've heard not so decent things about it. I kind of am intrigued enough to check it out because of this, though. Where are we at? Where are we at mentally? What are y'all thinking for this show right now? What is the audience thinking? Where are your brains at with Generation V? Keith David has an iconic voice that's right up there with James Earl Jones, Ian McDermott, Ian McKellen, Christopher Lee, and Clancy Brown. Honestly, like that's a great one there. It's right there so far. I agree with you. And part of me wants to say it's even done a little bit better because it feels very meticulous. Where the boys are like, okay, we're doing this season, we're doing this season, we're doing this season, and we're gonna tie this all together and yada yada yada. But this feels like it was very very meticulous to make sure it fit with what's already there with the boys and where it may go in the future, both in this show and with the boys. And I like that. I really like that. Lost for Clancy and Pitch Black for Keith are my favorite. Ooh. Pitch Black. That might be my favorite. That's my favorite Keith David live action. I agree with you there. I need more Riddick. I love Chronicles of Riddick. I say Chronicles of Riddick. I like all the Riddicks. I just think of it as Chronicles of Riddick as like the series title in my brain. Even though I know it's just a TV, not a TV. Good Lord, just one movie. Whatever I'm trying to say. I should sometimes let my brain slow down before I speak. But that's no, I should. I really should. I'll let you know when I've seen all the boys. Ooh, good point. Good point. I can't wait for the next episode. Me either. I was very excited after the last episode of The Continental, but it might have been the 3 episodes, but I was triple excited for the Gen V episodes this week. Like, I'm so pumped. We're going to end Thursday. New episode of Loki coming out in the evening time. I stay up till midnight. And then we get the Continental and Gen V. Just like, come on. It's goodness. It's goodness. Where are we at? I'm at Buffalo Wild Wings in Des Moines waiting to pick up this DoorDash order. We're just talking about, Mark, where do you feel like Gen V sits in correlation with the boys? Same level, like right there with it? Better? Just a little under it? Or where at? I remember you hadn't actually checked out any of it yet. So you could be our test dummy and check it all out for us and give us like a super factual, definitely not opinion-based thought process of anything at all, you know? Of course. What people with opinions? What? I'm kidding. Do you see that Pitch Black on Amazon is titled as a Chronicle of Riddick? No. But I like that. I feel like the Chronicles of Riddick would be a good like franchise name for it. For me, same level. Haven't seen any of it yet. See, there we go. Friday for Gen V, always waiting to B-dubs. Hey, B-dubs is never a bad place to wait. You got the bar there. You got football or soccer, boxing, whatever happens to be on screen. Good times. There's wings, bone in, bone out. Got options. Not too pricey, but yeah, just below at the moment. But it is in its infancy. Okay. Interesting. What streaming service are they on? They are on Prime. Yes. And they're a hell of a lot of fun. They are the only thing right now that are honestly giving me hope for the superhero genre. Because the Loki reviews, some were decent, but most were not great, which makes me iffy. Ki Kwan, people say that he's great in Loki season 2, which makes me happy, but the rest of it seems like it's kind of phoned in. So not phoned in, but not far off. That's the thing. I don't know. MCU television is not what it was. MCU films aren't what they were. I'm intrigued for the Marvels here in the next month or so. And I don't know. DC's just not exciting me. Blue Beetle was fun, but they're very, very extra. I did a vid on that. A vid on which one? Tell us what it is, then link it, and I'll put both on here so people go to it. Yeah, I I had hope. I can't even remember. Is it Jupiter's Ascending? Is that what it was? Jupiter's Legacy? Jupiter's Ascending? One of the boys is awesome. However, they're super friggin' extra. Yeah. Very much so. But I love that they're super friggin' extra. It makes it so much more fun, honestly. Yeah, I don't have Prime at the moment. I researched Rings of Power and SU before canceling it for a while earlier this summer. Wasn't really watching anything on it. I'll get it back eventually. Hey, there you go. I see. I always just have Prime just for the sake of having Amazon Prime free shipping. I'm glad that they correlate together. It makes things nice. I got the notification, but this live started first. Oi, rewatch, not research. You were technically researching a little bit. You know, it's all saved up in the data banks up there. So the most recent vid chilling, just send it in here and I got you, Aaron. I'll put it on here. Yeah. I'm really enjoying it. I don't know if it's just I kind of would honestly rate it one step up over. Not I don't. Oh no, I'm gonna say it's right there with the boys. It's right next to one step above for me, but it's hitting the mark that I'd like it to. It's being zany and raucous and cool and crazy and fun and like Chillin said, super friggin' extra, but in a good way. I think I think it fits with what the boys done before. It is definitely melding its own spot within tonality while still staying in that overall same tone. I think this younger version of the show kind of works better in a way because of just how depraved my generation tends to be in a way. Holidays coming, Amazon to the rescue. That's the truth. But yeah, I feel like this almost fits within the world of the boys a little bit more so than the boys fits like succinctly, just because of how like I mean, we've had generations of people growing up on movies with boom, boom, shoot, shoot, yada, yada, blah, 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 all that good stuff. But my generation is very much that's just our status quo, you know. Like I was 10 watching Game of Thrones kind of stuff, and obviously, like we're still humans, of course, but we're a little more. I mean, we're the audience for the boys and stuff like that as well. So it's like we're more open to the abrasiveness. We're more open to the raucousness and the insanity that it all brings. So I think it kind of fits with this younger batch of folk, possibly just a little bit better, but we'll get there. See, not the millennials. Oh yeah, the millennials. And then what is it? Gen Z? Is that what the hell it is? Gen Z? I think it's Gen Z because that's what it's literally based off of, right? Gen V, but Gen Z. Which I'm a 99 baby, so I'm like technically millennial and technically a Gen Z, just depends on who you call. But I'd rather call Ghostbusters, especially because I just showed two people Caddyshack for the first time this past week. And I love showing people Caddyshack for the first time. One of the best comedies ever. And can we? I need a Rodney Dangerfield version of a soup. Like anybody, please. They're all kind of Rodney Dangerfields in their own way. Anyway, I love it. Gen Z, what the fuck? Get a fucking job. Yeah, sounds about right. I just turned Max back on Friday as Bill Mayer and John Oliver returned this weekend. It was time. Strike over. Show the industry we're happy it's back. Turn their services back on. Yeah, sounds about right. Does that mean you're my favorite ice cream? $8.99? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what that means. I'm a bit lost there. Excuse me. Good Lord. Let me look over these notes real quick. Just anything else right here that I was gonna talk about. Oh, okay. Let's talk about the woods before we head out. The woods. The woods is something that we've seen in the boys to a degree. A lot of the, I think, artwork in the woods has like little like peppy little squirrels and stuff like that, which is definitely what Black Noir was seeing, I guess, in season 3 of the boys. So was Noir just a member of the Woods? But where does the Woods tie into that? Because how old is the Woods? Noir was in freaking Vietnam with the last set of the seven, way back when. It's weird. It's iffy, and it makes me think about some things. The Woods is a very interesting. Of course, Cricket and Sam are going to find a way out of there, I think, and that'll be fun to watch. I'll love that. But I have so many questions with the Woods in general. What are y'all's theories for it? What do you think it pertains to within the boys' world? And how will it be used? May I ask you? May I ask you? Because I'm not at a loss. I'm just at so many different points. My brain doesn't know exactly which avenue to take there. So I'm intrigued to see this next week if those avenues are enlightened a little bit for me. Lightened up. Tell me which paths to start looking on. Yeah. Well, okay, what is this? 99 for 99p and a bubblegum 1p best quid ever sent. £1, 1 quid, or pence, or something like that. Let's talk about the Woods. I was like, we were just going to talk about trees now. Wow. I forgot that you hadn't watched it for a second, and I was like, okay, this is going to be a really good comment. Let's get into it before we head out of here. Let's talk about the Woods. I was like, we're just going to talk about the trees now. Wow, you're out of topics. The Woods in Twin Peaks is now what I'm thinking of. Could it be the same Woods? It's kind of similar Woods in a way, kind of in some ways, but not the Twin Peaks Woods. Let's talk about the Woods. Let's talk about the forest. 1 pound. 1 pound. I had to make sure I said something besides euro because I almost said euro at first. I just was like, that's not gonna be right, and I'm gonna get shat on if I do that. So nope, that's not a euro. That's a pound, right? Little squiggly FL is that's like an F and an L put together. Pound, something like that. But while I'm chuckling, while I'm laughing, like, comment, subscribe, share this to all your people. My last spiel for the day, real quick. Follow on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. We smoke on Snapchat, which is the best place to do it when YouTube doesn't like it. So come see me advertise for these things over there. It's always fun. But the Woods might be where Compound V was developed. There's definitely something going on there. Definitely something going on. Yes. Let's just look at the trees. Look at the trees. There's many trees around here. I'm not actual trees, of course, but just the ones surrounding me here. P is pence. All right. Okay. But yeah, I think the Woods would be if not the place where Compound V is developed, one of like the head places it's researched and probably developed as well. Very much so. Can't see the woods for the trees. But yeah. I'm with you there. It's got to be in that same wheelhouse. It has to be. What else would it be? Anyway, though, I think that's it for me. We've got 3 hours until we get the new episode of Ahsoka. 4 hours until our third Afterthoughts for the day. And I couldn't be more excited. Are y'all pumped? Because I'm pumped. Can't see the wood for the trees. Unless your tree's a sycamore. That wasn't the Prince of Thieves. Compound V is vampire blood. That's the twist. I figured it out. And I've seen nothing. Yes, it's possible. That would be kind of fun. But it would be much more that'd be a weird twist on things, but it would like make sense in some weird ways too. What we do in the shadows mixed with the boys, just kind of perfectly, succinctly together there. It'd be fun. I feel like it existed well before the college, and now the college is supplying lab rats. That makes sense. I agree with you. I think the Woods was there prior to Godolkin, and the Guardians of Godolkin aren't going to be their saviors, or maybe they will be their saviors. We'll see. We'll see how the series turns out. I don't know if they're going to be able to actually like save people the way they want to, because that just wouldn't be the boys, you know? It wouldn't. Would join later, but in the land of Nod. Oi. Well. Join Sci-Fi Quest and Narcolepsy. The search for narcolepsy. It's or no, not narcolepsy. The opposite. Or am I just overthinking things right now? My brain's not working at all. Narcolepsy means you sleep way too much, right? What am I thinking of? Insomnia. That's the one. That's what I was thinking of. Join the Insomniacs over here. We'll be hanging out. Whatever word. There we go. Found it. Second, third, fourth, fifth time's a charm. Something like that. One way or another. We make do. We make do. But thank y'all for being here. I appreciate the hell out of it. I will see, hopefully, most of y'all, if not all of y'all, around Ahsoka time for some more afterthoughts. It's going to be so much fun. I'm so pumped. We're going to have a good panel today. It's going to be a good time. I hope it ends well. I'm a little trepidatious. Mostly, what words was I trying to put together there? Mostly, I'm just ecstatic for it. I am a little cautiously optimistic, trepidatious, but I'm pumped. Pumped nonetheless. Good film, Insomnia. Yep. Yes, sir. Yeah, good books. And read while you're at it. And nothing like reading. But thank y'all again. I appreciate the hell out of it. And yes, Chillin's doing stuff as well. So come do y'all's viewing duties after Ahsoka. And we're just going to be hanging out. I think Chillin, you're immediately after, right? We're usually I think if it's a 45-minute episode, we're going to be half an hour after the episode. So go hang out with Chillin and come say howdy. And we will see y'all in a little while.